Are you going places or left behind because you don't have a travel companion? Listen to how you can travel more independently. Dr. Travelbest will bring you the best answers, tips, and hear mistakes so you can benefit.
Welcome to this edition of Dr. Mary Travelbest's Independent Travel Guide. This is for women who travel, who want to travel, and especially for those who want to travel independently. Are you a woman? Do you travel? What's on your bucket list? Please share all that with me. You can tell me all about it on social media or blog or any way you like. I'm going to talk about FAQs, your special travel questions, as well as share some of my mistakes and missteps in travel because I've made just about every mistake. Now you don't have to. I wrote the world's first guide to independent travel in 1993. And since then, I've been running a business, raising 4 children with my husband, and been a professor at several universities, all the time traveling. So my travel experiences are rich and meaningful. I can't wait to share them with you. In this episode, I'm going to talk about being a single person and a single supplement. I'm also going to talk about the destination, Japan, and I'm also going to talk about some tips. And those include the advice about how to go to a casino, and also my mistake, which was some of the baths in Japan that were nude, and I didn't know the etiquette. Starting out, I'm going to talk about the questions from you. This question said, I'm a single person, and if I want to go on a cruise, do I have to pay the single supplement? And the answer is yes and no. If you are going on the cruise for singles, it's called Sojourn, Sojourn. The single supplement is a travel industry premium, and it's charged to solo travelers when they take a room alone. And that amount can range from 10 to 100% of the standard accommodation rate. Some ways to avoid this single supplement, I'm going to give you a list here. One is negotiate. The second one is to travel during slow periods. Third, you could be willing to double up to travel on single tours. And lastly, cut out the middlemen. Another idea is to maybe do adventure tours where you're staying in a hostel, where you're staying in a tent, in places that are not cruises or hotels. You can keep looking until you find the cruise or trip that you want without the high price of being solo. I'm going to talk now about Japan. It's an independent destination that you don't want to miss. The culture in Japan is unique because it's an island nation and they were isolated for just so long. I think you're going to love the art, the music, and the business there. Look into the culture. Of course, there's great sushi there. I really enjoyed Japan Airlines, and I'm going to talk a bit about Tokyo first. So when you get to Tokyo, one of the things you'll want to do is get to a high point and see the city. You can go to the Tokyo Sky Tree. It's the highest point in Japan, built in 2010. Or you can go to the Tokyo Tower. Both have really great views. Now, another thing to do in Tokyo, which I really enjoyed, was the University of Tokyo. It's also called Todai or U-Tokyo. It's a public research university, and it's located in Bunkyo, Tokyo, Japan. And it was established in 1877 as the first imperial university. And it's a very prestigious university, and it's really hard to get into. I'd also like to talk about the toilets in Japan. Now, these are high tech. They have heated seats, they've got bidets, and they've even got a noise that you can sound like you're flushing water so others in the bathroom don't hear you. This is the most high-tech toilet I've ever seen. There's so many buttons, I didn't even know what to do. But they do measure a lot of things. Some of these cost up to $6,000, so they're really high-tech. On to another topic. Let's talk about the trains. You've probably heard about the high-speed trains. They get you around really fast. They're called the Shinkansen. These trains, you can travel from one part of the country to another in just a short amount of time. I traveled a lot around Japan on these trains. One of the destinations was Hiroshima. Hiroshima, you probably have heard of. It's a modern city, and it's on Honshu Island. And it was largely destroyed by an atomic bomb during World War II. Today, you can go visit the Peace Memorial Park, and that commemorates that 1945 event. Right in the park alone, you can see the ruins of the Baku Dome, one of the few buildings that was still left standing near Ground Zero. And you can also see a formal garden and the castle. And those are surrounded by a moat and a park. It's really a beautiful city. I enjoyed visiting there. Another thing you can go to is Sapporo. Now, Sapporo's way in the north, and I was able to check that out. Odori Park. It's an oasis with 92 types of trees, including lilacs and elms, right in the middle of a business district. Another thing you want to do in Sapporo is go to the Sapporo Beer Museum, and it's located in the Garden Park right in Sapporo. It's also registered as one of the Hokkaido heritage sites, and it's the only beer museum in Japan. And yes, they do give out samples. Another thing about Japan that I thought was really interesting is the breakfasts. A traditional Japanese breakfast is likely to be different than any breakfast you've ever experienced because it has elements that make up a complete meal that you might have at lunch or dinner. It's like a buffet. A traditional breakfast consists of everything. It's got rice, miso soup, protein like grilled fish, and lots of side dishes. They could be Japanese pickles or nori, which is seasoned seaweed. You've got fermented soybeans. You've got other side dishes of vegetables and a salad. It's not intended to be a heavy meal, but I ate a lot. So it was a good meal. So what's happening in Japan? Well, the 2020 Olympics, July 24th through August 9th, 2020. I saw lots of things being built for the 2020 Olympics, like islands that are all new just for the Olympics in Tokyo. So I encourage you to go take a look if you can. And if I was going to go to any one events, I'd go to what they call athletics. I looked at the different things that were going on. There's so many different athletics. Most of these, we would call them track and field events, but there's always going to be something going on. So if you get a ticket to athletics, you're probably really going to enjoy the entire day. Now, let me switch gears and go to my mistakes. These were my mistakes in Japan. I went to the baths and I didn't know they were nude. I didn't know the etiquette, and a lot of women gave me strange looks in those baths in Japan. If you are going to Japan and there are some baths, please get to know the etiquette before you go in. This was my mistake. Here's my travel advice. When you go to a casino, figure out where the exits are. Find the best restaurants and ask for any free services. Oftentimes, you're going to get free rooms, free entertainment, and other benefits by membership in their loyalty programs. Casinos can be a great value, especially in the restaurant areas. So I want to bring meaning to your travel. Thanks for listening to this edition of the World's First Guide to Independent Travel with Dr. Mary Travelbest. If you want to know more, just search for me and you'll find me on the web, social media, and of course, this podcast. So what's on your bucket list?
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travelbest, that is.